hello everyone. Welcome to another Friday Closeout video. Thank you for joining me today. I decided to put my mask on because it has become kind of my constant companion over the past few weeks. But what is kind of crazy to me is that even wearing a mask has become something that we can divide over in our culture today. So as you know, if you've been watching these videos for any length of time, my Friday Closeout videos are ones where I like to share a little bit of a devotional thought with you, something from Scripture or a prayer. And I was wondering, does Scripture have anything to say about masks? Now, you might sit back and kind of chuckle at that because, let's be real, Scripture really doesn't have anything specific to say about a mask like this. But there are some principles there that I think are very helpful to us as we consider what it means to live life in a world where coronavirus is still very much our reality. And so I wanted to read to you some scriptures from the Gospel of Matthew today. It's chapter 22, starting in verse 37. And this is Jesus. It says, "He said to him, 'Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the greatest and most important command. The second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself.' All the law and the prophets depend on these two commands." Now, I want to spend a little time talking about that second command, love your neighbor as yourself, and how that looks in the world that we are living in today. Now, most of the folks in my unit are probably in a lower risk category for coronavirus. Even though I'm one of the older people in my battalion, age-wise, I'm still in a pretty low-risk category. I mean, I'm in my gasp 30s, right? And most of the things that we've read in the news say that unless you're elderly or you have some kind of major underlying health condition, you're probably going to be okay even if you contract coronavirus. But here's the thing. When you go out and you go to the grocery store, or you walk into the office of somebody at work, they might look fine and they might be low risk themselves, but you don't know the whole story. You don't know if they have a family member who might be immunocompromised. You don't know if their parents might be living with them and they're in an older demographic that is more at risk. When you go to the grocery store and you're standing in the checkout line, shoot, I'm young, I'm in shape, I take care of myself, I'm healthy, I don't have any risk factors. But that person standing right in front of you, they might. So the mask, it's really about loving your neighbor. Yes, it's good for public health and all that, but if you're a Christian like I am, and I read this text and it says, the second commandment is like it, love your neighbor as yourself. Wearing a mask is just too easy. It's a way to take care of my neighbor, to protect them from me because I don't know if I might be carrying it. And if they're wearing one, we're protecting each other. And we're protecting our community when we wear this. If you're in the military, we're all about readiness, right? We got to be ready to go. We got to be ready to fight tonight is the mantra that we hear all the time. One of the ways that we can do that we can conserve our force, that we can maintain personal readiness, that we can maintain unit readiness, that we can show that we love not just ourselves but our co-workers, it's by doing something simple like wearing a mask. Now I know it can be a hassle, but I keep this one in my car. When I get out of my car, I put it on. I bring it into the office with me. When I leave my office and I go down the hall to talk to somebody else in the battalion, I put it on. It's not that hard. It's not anybody trying to take away your personal freedom or your self-expression. Friends, it is just loving and caring for your neighbor, which is exactly what Jesus is talking about here. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. If you are sick, or if you have a family member who is sick, I guarantee you want to look out across the grocery store aisle, out across the formation, and you want to see people wearing these things because it's protecting you. And you wearing this protects them. So as we go into this 4th of July weekend, where it's kind of a weird long weekend, normally there'd be a lot of barbecues and gatherings and people going out and having a good time. Be cautious. Love your neighbor like you love yourself, and wear your mask. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you can get some rest. Go in peace.